All right, awesome. Well, welcome everyone. Again, like I said, my name is Ariel Hernandez. I'm the tech director for KW Miami. I'm here to help. Anything you guys need, there's my email, my contact information. And if you scan the QR code, you'll go to my contact page. But any questions you guys have, I'm more than happy to help in anything that we can. I'm excited to be here today and be able to learn how we can leverage campaigns to be able to build a brand for ourselves, right? And so for today, we're actually going to go ahead and cover how we can brand ourselves in an area that you want to farm. And by doing what? By using direct mailers and Facebook ads. And I'll show you. So we're not going to go too much into details, but I will give you an overall as to how you can actually brand yourself in a specific area you want to farm using direct mailers and Facebook ads. And then once you get their emails, then you can do email campaigns through the smart plans and everything as well. All righty. And so that's what we're going to be covering for today. So let's go ahead and begin. All righty. So first things first, right? We said we wanted to be able to farm an area. And then we said, okay, how can I brand myself in that specific area? So let's just do a couple of ideas here. Let's brainstorm a little bit. What I did is that near my market center, I grabbed an area here that's called San Souci, right? Let's just say that this is the area right here that I want to farm, okay? So taking this as an example, we're going to say, okay, if I wanted to farm this area, right? First of all, I got to find out who lives in this area and try to find out as much information as I can from them. So then I can then be able to reach out to them, right? So what I did is that I went into the map and I tried to look up an address, just any address from that area, right? So you can see there in the, I selected 1922 Northeast 119th Road. Then in our market center, our director of first impression does GeoList for any agent that requests it, right? So I gave her the address. I told her I want a 2-mile radius around that address. And so she gave me a GeoList that we got from Arc Agent, right? That kind of looks like this, okay? So then we got all the names of all the owners, all the addresses of those homes, and all the phone numbers that are not in the do not call list, right? So we have all this information here, and there is maybe 441 contacts, okay? Give or take, because some of them don't have phone numbers, right? So now what you can do is that you grab that list, right? You copy paste it into the CSV format that Command gives you to be able to import contacts, and you import them into Command, right? You add them into your database into Command. After you add them into that database into Command, it'll kind of look like this, right? So I have a fake one here, let's say it's Bob Smith. You can always tag them, right? So I can say, okay, farming area, and then the area you're trying to farm, San Souci. Then you have a phone number, right? Because the list only gives you name, phone number, and addresses, right? So I've got my name, I've got my phone number, and I've got my address, which automatically gives me the neighborhood that they live in, which is the one I'm trying to farm, okay? So now I've got them in my database. Alrighty. Now we go into, okay, well, how can I brand myself in that area? So the first thing we want to do is, if you click on over here on the left-hand side of campaigns, I'll bring you over here to the dashboard. There's 4 different ways that you can do campaigns. You can do paid ads, emails, direct mail, or social posts. Now for this specific example, and being able to brand yourself, yes, you want to do it on Facebook too. You can brand yourself on Facebook in your business page, right? So it's important for agents to always have a Facebook business page because that's where the ads go through and many other things. So if you don't have one, it's important that you create one. You can still post some things in your personal account, right? But you want to have that Facebook business page. Now, I always suggest that whatever you're going to post, always try to post three things, right? Something real estate, something of value, whether it's real estate or not. So it can be like, hey, painting your home increases the value, or top 5 places to go to when visiting Miami or whatever, right? Something of value. And then something personal. You want people to be able to relate to you so that when you're building that brand, you can relate to those around that neighborhood. So if you know that there's a lot of people in that neighborhood that like to ride bike or go to the beach or love dogs or anything, and that's something that you like too, I mean, we have to be real, we can't be fake, right? Then start posting that. You love riding bike, and then take videos and pictures of you riding bike and posting. Now you're relating to those who are bicyclists, right? If you like going to the beach, great. Now you're relating to those who love the beach. And so you start building that brand of yourself, okay? Direct mailers, emails, and paid ads. So we're going to focus on direct mailers and paid ads, which are the only two that you can do if you only have a phone number. Okay, so for emails, you need their email. And social posts is just a regular post you're putting on your page. But if they didn't like your page, they're not going to see it. So you have to start drawing people to your page, right? A good way to do that, though, is if you post something on your Facebook page and then you share it onto your personal account, right? Where you have thousands of friends. So you post something in your business one, you share it into your personal account so they can see it. And then a lot of them will click and go to your page and then like it. Another thing too, that's something small, is if I know you and you're my friend, right? If I go into your personal account, I can see there your account. So I see all your personal pictures of you and your family and everything. But unless somewhere in there you write your business page, how am I ever going to find your business page? Right? Because every time I type in your name, it's going to take me to your account because we're already friends. So the best way for you to do is to go to the About section and put in there that you are the CEO of your Facebook business page as like a work, right? Where you work at, and then Ariel Sells in Miami, let's say that's my business page. Well, then I'm CEO of Ariel Sells in Miami, right? And so it's a quick way for them to be able to see that, click on it, and then be able to go directly to your Facebook business page, right? So let's focus right now on direct mails. I have the list. I've got their phone numbers, I got their names, and I've got their addresses, right? So we're going to click on Create Campaigns, and we're going to go to Direct Mail. Now I would put in here, I'm going to put San Suzy, which is the area I'm trying to farm. And I'm trying to attract listings, right? We all want listings. Now I'm going to go to Create Campaign. All righty. So right now, you have a couple of options you want to do. You can click on content, start typing, adding a photo, and you'll look at a preview here. Now, using some of the stuff that we learned in the design class, right, we can use the same concept and be able to design a postcard that we want to use at our direct mailers. So I already designed one previously so that we can use as an example. So I'm going to click here where it says Upload Design, and I'm going to go to Browse, because you have to download the design as a PDF. So I'm going to go San Suzy Mailers Original. That's my front page. Always make sure that when you design something in Designs and you want to download it to be able to upload it as a direct mailer, you have to download it as PDF for printing, and you have to click on the option that says Manual Bleed. And then you download them separate. Page 1 as one download, page 2 as a separate download. So now I'm going to go back for the back portion of it and get the other one. Great. So I've got my front of my postcard, and I've got the back of my postcard, right? And I designed it in a way where it kind of gives some information, market statistics on the area, little map, right, of the area or the neighborhood that I'm trying to farm. And you know, this could be something you send every month or every quarter, right, on all the information that's going on. So I've got my design, and I already got my content. I'll have a little green check mark. I hit save. I'll just make sure that all this information is updated. Verify address of the market center. Good. And now targeting. Now this is the most important part here. I have two options when I want to target. I can do local targeting and put the address of the property that I originally looked for, right? This 1922 Northeast. I can put that address and then be able to target like a specific zone, right? So I want to do 200 mailers, so I'll just pick up 200 houses around the area, right? Or since I'm trying to farm specific homes, that are in that area. I can also do target my database. So I can hit target my database, click add contacts. Now this shows you your whole entire database, but I had already tagged all of those that I imported from that area, from that geolist. I tagged them as Sans Souci. So we're going to go to Sans Souci. Now, obviously, I only have one because it was for training purposes. So I would select all. So you can select everyone that I would have imported with that tag of Sans Souci. And then we'll hit add to campaign. Okay. So now what it does is that it grabbed everyone that was in your database, right? Added it into the system here. They all have addresses because you got them from the geo list, right? They all have names. And so now you're telling command, I want you to send a direct mailer to these people specifically, right? Because you're targeting that specific neighborhood. You're farming that specific neighborhood, right? When you're trying to build your brand, yes, it's important that you do a logo, a name, colors. That's all part of branding. But most of all, it's your face. You want people to get to know you. You want people to know you, right? That when they hear your name, they can associate it with a face as well. So that when you go and door knock, oh, you're the guy from the direct mailers. Oh, you're the guy from this, right? And they can associate it and know you. So we're going to do target my database. We're going to hit save. And then it's just a budget, right? So how many? Depending on how many names you chose, it's going to automatically calculate here the amount. So if you chose 50 names, it'll say here quantity 50, and it will automatically calculate the amount that you would pay. You would hit save, and then you would hit configure targeting. Once you hit configure targeting, you'll be able to create the actual campaign. You'll hit yes. All right. And now it brings you right over to where it shows you a quick preview. Now there's a difference. If I would have been targeting an address and wanted to just go to houses around that area, right? 200 houses, 300 houses, whichever amount of budget I have, it would have brought you over to a screen where now I would tell you, okay, do you want to filter out closely, right? How many bedrooms, how many square feet? It was last sold when, or last sold for how much, right? And you can actually define it, or you can draw on the map specifically the area that you want, okay? So if you don't have any information on that area, that's a great way also, where you can go in and draw there on the map where or what area you want to target specifically, okay? So here it's showing me now the design. I scroll down and it just tells me the total amount. I put my information, make a payment, and it's gone. Okay, so that's how you can target specific people within your area. This works great too when it's apartment buildings, right? So you can get through IMAP, or you can get through GeoList or anything, everyone that lives in a specific building, add them to command, and then you can target your database, target everyone that lives in that building, and everybody gets a card. Okay, so that's one way of being able to brand yourself this way using the direct mailers. Now I'll show you also the other way if you're not targeting your database, if you have no information, how you can draw it on the map. All righty. So we'll do create campaigns again, direct mailer. Attract listings. Content, again, I already have the design. Perfect. Confirming the market center, state and zip code. And then targeting, now we're going to choose local targeting, right? So I'm going to come and copy that address. City was North Miami. And the zip code 33181. All right. And now my budget, I want to do 200 cards. All right. So we first did targeting our database. Now we're going to target a specific area, assuming that you don't have any information on that area and you just want to be able to target the homes that are around that address. So we're going to hit configure targeting. And so this is what I was referring to, right? Let me zoom out a little bit here, where it kind of picks up, okay, your budget is 200 homes, right? Or 200 properties. Now it's saying, okay, what do you want? Single family? Do you want all of them or only single family or only multifamily? Is there a specific amount of bedrooms you want to target? Square footage, year built, year last sold, year sold for, last sold for. And then you'll have your total amount. I would always suggest you put send copy to company address so that you can also receive a sample one and you can see how it looked like, the printing of it, okay? Now this automatically just picks up 200 properties. Notice out here you have a little number that says 74. That's an apartment building, okay? That's an apartment building, and then you're basically grabbing 74 units that are gonna receive that direct mailer. So if you only want single family homes, just choose single family, and now I would spread out to only single families. Okay. Now, if you only wanted to do, let's say this section here, you want only waterfronts, then you can draw it. Okay. You can click on here where it says polygon targeting tool. And then you just start drawing all the homes in that specific area. Let's say I want to come here and I want to grab these here too. Great. So now it's going to select all the homes in that specific area that you highlighted. So there's 168 homes. So now my budget went down to $99.71. Okay. So if you didn't have any information of them at all, any geolists or anything, you can also target them this way. Right. And at least you know they'll receive at least a direct mail on the mail with the information and your headshot on it as well, so they can see who you are. All right, so that's another great way. After that, you just hit next, and then you put your payment information, and off they go. All righty. So any questions on direct mailers so far before we go into Facebook ads? Hey, Brett.
Ariel, what's up, buddy? Great job. I just wanted to mention something. I know you guys don't have a whole lot of single-family vacant lots in the Miami area, especially around your office, but we do here. And one of the things that we have when we do something like this is we have a problem with mailers going to those vacant lots and being returned. So is it a best practice to have at least a minimum bedroom of like one or something like that?
Yeah, definitely. And that's the beauty of it, of being able to actually filter out. So you can do at least move it over to one bedroom, or you can say, well, minimum, I want 3 bedrooms or 4 bedrooms. Right. So you can actually move those filters out, avoiding it being sent to empty lots.
Thank you.
Yep. All righty. All right. If no other questions, we'll go ahead and move on. All right. So now let's go ahead and go back. Now we're going to do Facebook ads, right? Now, very interesting. So we only have name, we only have phone number, and we only have address, right? So I'm going to click here on social ad. I know originally I thought, well, how is Facebook going to find all these people on my profile if there's no email address, right? Because I know a long time ago, I had this concept where if you have the email address, it's easier to find the profile of the person, so you can add them as a friend or find them on Facebook or anything. So I did a little research, and if you go to the Facebook Business Help Center, right, what they consider, they call it a custom audience is what it's called, custom audience. When you're trying to target a specific audience, right, like your database, they call it a customer's list or a custom audience. And it says here, in preparation for your customers list in advance, if you provide us with information about your existing customers, we can match this information with Facebook profiles. The information on a customer list is known as identifiers, such as email, phone numbers, addresses. And we use it to help you find the audience you want your ads to reach. Which means if I have emails or phone numbers or addresses, it can help Facebook find those profiles of people that I want to target specifically. So that works to our advantage. Great, right? Because now I can come here and I can do a social paid ad. I'm trying to attract listings. I want it on Facebook and Instagram. Create campaign. All right. So now we'll go ahead and do the text. Now the text, I don't know. The market is hot right now. For more information on how the market is in your area, click below. Let's just say I'm bad when it comes to like the scripts. Headline, click learn more for info. All righty. So I've got my text. I'm not going to worry about description. I'm going to come over to media. Now, again, previously I already designed something that I would have used, right, for the Facebook. So I'm going to come to add images, design library. Here's my little design for San Suzy. All right, save image. So I've got my little market statistics of the area, little picture, logo. Now, if you already have a logo, right, on the image, sometimes you get that second logo here right above it. So I'm just going to remove that because I already got it on my image. Now I can hit save. Notice how you can also add videos. So if you happen to do a little video of yourself talking about the market or anything, you can always use that on ad as well. Then we'll go to Facebook and Instagram settings. See, this is why it's important for you to have a Facebook business page, because it's automatically asking you what page is going to be associated to this ad, because you cannot use your personal account to be associated with the ad. So this is where I would choose my Facebook business page. And every time that the ad gets sent out, you'll see that on the top of the ad, it says the name of your business page. And if you notice, once you're looking through your Facebook news feed, you'll see that sometimes you get ads, and you know they're ads because they have the word sponsored under it. And that's how you know it's an ad. Plus, a lot of times they'll say, learn more, sign up, click here, register here, or words like that. Next, you have Instagram position, if you want it in the feed or in the story in Instagram. And destination. Now, you can always use Facebook lead generation form or a landing page. Personally, this is my personal opinion, I recommend the Facebook lead generation form, as it also says here, recommended. Reason being is because a landing page, even if you create a nice, beautiful landing page that has a lead capture process or form on it, that's fine. But it's going to capture that lead into like an Excel sheet or something for you. You're still going to have to manually upload it into Command. If I use the Facebook lead generation form, the moment that they click on that ad, it's going to have a pop-up box. And then that pop-up box is going to already have pre-filled the name, the phone number, the email of that person. And all they got to do is next. And then it goes to whatever site I attach here. But Command is going to grab that information. And it's going to automatically create a contact card for you in Command with their name, their phone number, and their email. Now, here's the beauty of it. Originally, we got the geo list, right? And we've got names, we've got phone numbers, and we've got addresses, correct? We didn't have emails. If I create this Facebook ad and I target my database specifically, those people that I got from the geo list that live in that area, and I target them specifically, and they're on Facebook, right? They're looking through their phones on Facebook, and they happen to see the ad, and they clicked on the ad, and they went next, and they went to the website I attached it to, or whatever, right? I captured their information, including their emails. So when that information comes over to Command, right? Command, it's going to see that I already have that contact card and I already have the phone number, but I don't have the email. So it will automatically insert that email into that contact card for you. Now you have it complete. Name, phone number, email, and address. Okay, at least the 4 main ones on your contact health score. All righty. And so that's what I want to be able to do. So I'm going to do Facebook lead generation form. And when it comes to website URL, basically that means where do you want the client to go after they click on that learn more button? Well, I'm not advertising a specific listing. I'm kind of just showing an area, a neighborhood. So I'm going to go to my KW agent website and I'm going to search that neighborhood. Notice how you can search city, neighborhoods, address, school districts, or zip codes. So I'm going to search San Susie. See, there's the neighborhood. Okay, I'm going to search San Susie, and these are all the active listings, right? That they can come and be able to see, and all the statistics and the maps and everything. So I'm going to copy that link. And that's the link that I'm going to attach right in there. So that when they do click on learn more and they give me their information, they're going to be transferred over to this site where they can see all the active listings in that area. They can see other things. If they want to search anything else, they can, right? If they want to look at any other page on my website, they can, but I keep them active on my website and not someone else's website. All righty. So we've got that. Now is the audience. So now I'm going to click here, custom settings. And that's when you have the option if you want to target a custom audience or you want to target your database. Now, a custom audience just means a specific city and a radius, right? So I can put here in the United States, I want to target North Miami, Florida. And it's a 25-mile radius of North Miami. Now, 25 miles is a lot. And North Miami, you do 25 miles, you're already going into other cities, maybe even other counties, right? So that's too big. I don't want that. So what I want to do is target my database so it can be more specific to the area that I'm farming. So I'm going to take that option out. I'm going to put target my database, and I'm going to create a new audience. And I'm going to name it Sans Susie. Now I can target by tags or I can target by neighborhoods. So if I imported everyone with an address of that neighborhood and I forgot to tag them, you can either go and tag them, or you can just say target by neighborhood and then choose the neighborhood that you want command to grab from your contacts. So you're basically telling command, everyone who has a neighborhood of San Susie in my database, add them to this ad. Or if you have them already tagged, you click here on tag and then you just choose the tag. Now you're saying everyone who has this tag, add them to this ad, right? So now I'm going to create this audience. Select that as no contacts. Oh, because I had the training one. So let's do then San Susie as the neighborhood. There you go. Create. Select neighborhood has no contacts. Okay. Well, I have to add the whole database then to show you there. But you can go ahead and click on that audience, be able to tag them all with that specific tag, right? And then they would all be added into that Facebook ad. Once they're added here, okay, next is your lead settings. In the lead settings, now, if you want to have a specific tag, basically this means auto tag means at the moment that they click on the ad and they give their information, it's going to come in to command, and command will automatically tag them with whatever option you put here, okay? So I would maybe write one that says Facebook ad Sans Susie. And I would create that tag so that I know that these were all the ones that clicked on that ad, right? So even though I have on my database already, if I see that additional tag in there, that means that they clicked on my ad, okay? And then you can automatically add them into a smart plan too. So these are great features, right? Because the moment that that lead comes in, before you had to manually go and tag them, manually grab them, put them into a smart plan. Now you can do that automatically. You can tell command, I want you to add this tag automatically, and I want you to automatically add them to this smart plan. And you can choose the smart plan that you have in your smart plan folder. Alrighty. So I chose this one, for example, which is the Marty Miller 66-day challenge Facebook lead follow-up. Okay. And so basically that means that every time the lead comes in, it's going to automatically go into that smart plan. We'll
Hey,
hit
Ariel,
save.
before you move forward, can I plus that real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Can you open that back up?
Yep.
So, Ariel, you're not on a team, right?
Yes, I am.
So if you were to switch over to your team profile right now, I just want to point this out because I know there's maybe some leaders on this call that saw this yesterday when Dora, or the other day when Dora was showing this. There is a section in there that allows you to add in a lead route as well if you're on a team, because teams have the ability to put lead routes in, and the lead route would need to be set up first, and then you can add them from there. So what that means is if you're on a team and say as these leads are coming in from Facebook and you don't want to sit there and say, okay, Susie gets this one, Johnny gets that one, you can actually have the route set up saying that this person who is, it's a jump ball, which means anybody who gets it, whoever gets the ball first gets that lead. So basically lead comes in and whoever grabs it first gets it. Or there's a round robin, there's a weighted one, which means maybe I give one person more weight towards getting those leads than the other. So for every 10 leads that comes in, they get 5 of them and everybody else gets 1 here and there. So there's all different types of lead routes. So if you're on a team, you can set those up so they automatically get put into that lead route based upon that campaign. So it's specific to that campaign. Does anybody have any questions about that while we're here? All right, good. Also, there's another question in here that says, does it only show those people in the audience you create? And yes, it does. And there's an update coming very soon that's going to show you, like, if you actually went into Facebook and did campaigns, there's a section in the campaigns for Facebook that shows you how wide your audience is and how narrow your audience is, and gives you a green or an orange or a yellow icon indicator based upon how big your audience is. That's actually going to be put in here very soon. So you guys should be seeing that around Mega Camp time.
Yep. So yeah, so kind of to piggyback on you, Ryan, if you are part of a team though, there are some specific settings you're going to have to do first in order to be able to use campaigns as a team. So like, for example, if you go to your settings, you'll see that in your personal account, you might have your Facebook ads manager and Facebook post scheduling already connected. But when you switch it over to the team account, you have to connect one. Right. So if you're the Rainmaker and you have your team Facebook page, you'll have to add whoever else you want to have access to, right? So if you want your admin to be posting ads or be posting posts for you on your behalf to the team page or anything, then you'd have to add that admin, right, as an admin to that Facebook business page.
And
Facebook.
To be able to do that, they have to have a certain type of access. So they have to be unlimited or enhanced. They cannot be just for your agent.
Correct.
That's
Here in Command. Yeah.
Correct.
So here in Command, they would have to have that access as well, unlimited or enhanced. And so what that means is that you'll come in here and you'll connect the account, your personal account, right? But then once you connect the account, it's going to show you all the business pages that you have. And then you'll select which one you want Command to have access to, which will be your team account, your team business page. You'll select that one, then that team business page will be registered under these team settings so that when you do go to campaigns and you try to create an ad, it will capture that and then it will allow you to do the ad. The ad will go out through the team. And then like Ryan said, once the leads comes in, they'll be routed to the team and everything. Right? So it is important that you do the settings first, right? Before going trying to do the campaigns.
And if you didn't know that, that's okay, because this is all brand new stuff that just was released recently. So it's kind of changed based upon what you may have seen in the past.
So Ariel, are you saying for Facebook, for the business page, the entire team should be added as admins?
No.
Well, not necessarily the entire team. Whoever the Rainmaker wants to give access to be able to post things or do ads on behalf of the team.
Well, I have an admin that she's posting on behalf of the team.
Okay.
And now those leads are coming in and she's now has to manually assign them.
That's probably because she's posting them through the personal account and not through the team account.
No, she said she did it through the team account. So when they're coming through as a notification, she clicks on that and then she's got,
verify because a lot of, with this change, a lot of the people just don't realize where they're at because they're not used to it. They're used to it automatically doing it for them because it was only under their personal account before. Now you have a personal and you have a team option if you're on a team. So I would definitely verify because they get kind of confused sometimes.
All right.
And if it is, then you know the process. Just submit that. Let's get
Yeah.
it fixed.
And Charity Grace, to answer your question, yes. So because I'm specifically selecting here, target my database, then it's only going to be sent to the people that I put on that audience because I'm targeting that specific list. If you want it to be a little bit more open, like I want anybody that lives in all of North Miami area, then you would just do target a custom audience here. And then you would select the city, the radius, and any specific interest that you want to target. And then that would go to anyone that lives within that radius.
So
right,
when
that
you
have those
target
specific
my
info.
database, what does it use to check that?
Say it again.
So when you use the target my database, what is command using to check that?
So when you're trying to create the audience, it can create it either by tags or by the actual neighborhood that the person has. So
I'm talking
obviously
about-
it is looking for, yeah.
I'm talking about when you just check that target my database, how does it know who to go after?
So because of the name, the phone number, and the address of that profile, right?
Correct.
So like I said earlier, when you go here, I went to Facebook Business Help Center, and it says that they use specific identifiers to be able to find Facebook profiles. So they use emails, phone numbers, and addresses. So as long as you have one of those identifiers, they can try to use that to find those specific profiles on Facebook and then put the ad on their newsfeed.
Perfect. And to plus that, add one more. If you've gone in and put their Facebook profile in there, you actually did a bunch of the work for them right there. And that pretty much will guarantee that they'll get targeted.
Yeah, that too. So you do have that option as well if you go to contacts. Now, obviously, it's a little bit more work on your end. You'd have to go to Facebook, find their Facebook page, right, or their Facebook account, copy the URL on the top, and then you can easily go.
I think it's worth the work though, because if you do the work on putting that in there, not only can you target them for ads, but you can also click on their Facebook profile from command and have it pop up automatically. So if you're getting ready to go on a call with them and you don't know what to talk to them about, you can just look at Facebook and see what's the last 5 posts that they put on there and see if there's anything that you can use to talk to them about. Call them to congratulate them about whatever just happened that they posted.
Right. So basically what Ryan is talking about is that you can come into the contact card, hit the edit button, come down to add more information, and you can do social profiles and add the link there. Okay.
And all you
Once
do
have-
is go to the actual profile page and copy the URL. That's it.
Yep. Let me switch this back to personal. There we go.
So it's that string at the top that says facebook.com/ and it has a bunch of numbers and letters. Sometimes people customize it, and like mine would have Ryan Yarbrough on there. You just copy that and paste it right in there. I'll take you right to as he shows right there.
Yep. So you'll paste it right in here. Now that obviously it's more work now, but it's going to save you time later, especially for birthdays and stuff like that, because you can easily come in here if you know their birthday's coming up. You click on that link and it will automatically take you directly into their Facebook page. Right, their Facebook account. Now you click on here, hey, happy birthday from your local realtor, so on and so on and so on.
And thank you for Andrew in the chat for tying that back together, because he was talking about DT, D2, and it's all tied together.
Yep. Yeah, that's a great way. You know, if you spend the time and find them on Facebook, it's a great opportunity also for you to get information, because you know some people tend on Facebook to put their phone numbers. They definitely have their birthdays there, so you can see what their birthdays are, right? And so you can get information from that person automatically and be able to add it to your contact card. Alrighty. So the last thing is just your duration and budget for the ad. Now, I usually always recommend that when you do an ad, you put it over the weekend, right? There's difference of opinions on that. Me personally, I like posting it in the weekend just because I feel like people actually look at Facebook more in the weekends than they do during the week. We kind of have, busy days, work, kids, school, whatever. And in the weekend, we're a little bit more relaxed. We're looking at Facebook and social media more. So you have a higher chance of people being able to see your ad in the weekend. So I would do it maybe from Friday to Monday, just a 3-day ad. And then whatever your budget is will be divided. Originally, we chose Facebook and Instagram. So it'll be divided evenly between Facebook and Instagram. if I choose this option here, distribute evenly between the two channels, or I can do automatic placements, which will distribute evenly between Facebook and Instagram, but it will monitor it for you. So if Facebook is having more success, more leads coming in, then it will focus most of the budget into Facebook, or vice versa. If Instagram is doing better, then it'll focus most of the budget into Instagram. All right. You'd hit save, and then once you're done, you would hit publish campaigns. Now, once you actually publish it, it's not going to automatically be active. You are going to see where it says status. It's going to say pending review. Facebook needs to be able to review it. All right. So this is the time that Facebook grabs to review the content, make sure that it's according to their guidelines and policies, and also grabs all the information from command to start targeting those profiles, right? And then you start sending all that information out. And so basically the ad will start hitting all those people that you're trying to target specifically in that farming area. So the cool thing about it is that you start off, right, by sending the direct mailers. You can do the face. So right there, they see you in their mail. Then you're targeting them in social media. So they're seeing you in their social media. Then you can use there's specific smart plans that are for you to obtain phone numbers, right? For you to obtain emails. So you're sending them text messages. So they're seeing you in their texts, right? Then once you actually get the emails, you can do email campaigns. So they're seeing you in their emails. Then you can print a nice little flyer using the techniques that Dora sent you, right? That taught you. You print it out, you go door knocking. Now they're seeing you in person. It's like you're everywhere, right? And you're branding yourself in that specific neighborhood. You're everywhere. Like Spanish people say, hasta en la sopa. Like you're even in the soup that they eat, right? You're everywhere in the whole area. All you need after that is maybe, I don't know, hire one of those planes that just kind of flies a banner over that area so they can see you up in the sky as well, right? But you're basically everywhere in that neighborhood, and that's how you can brand yourself in an area that you want to farm. Any questions? All right.
Hey, Ariel. Hello? Ariel.
Yes.
Thank you for the good information. One question. So on this campaign, like when I'm targeting the audience, can I choose, like, for example, Canada?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So you can come here, and instead of database, we're going to do custom audience, and you can target other countries.
Okay, perfect. Yes,
Right?
thank you. Yes.
So I know there's some agents that like to, I have a lot of clients from Argentina, from Canada, from Italy, from Spain. Well, you can target other countries, right?
Okay.
So you select a country and then a specific city within that country, and then you do your radius.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, good question. Charity for budget. There's not like a magic number for budget. If it's your first time doing ads, I'd say maybe $20, $25 is a good amount. I wouldn't spend more than that, because one thing that I always tell the agents, doing a Facebook ad is like playing the lottery. You never know what you're going to get, right? You never know what you're going to win. You might do a Facebook ad now and you got 100 leads, right? Or more realistically, let's say you got 40 leads. Then you do that same exact ad the next weekend and you only got 2 leads, right? So it's not like an automatic guarantee or anything. It's like the lottery. You never know what you're going to get. So I would kind of play around with different styles. It has a lot of things to do with the design, the area you're targeting, the content you're writing, right? So there's a lot that goes into it, that you kind of play around with it until you find something that works for you. You're welcome. Any other questions? All right. Well, back to you, Ryan.
There's one more question, Ariel. Are you able to target a neighbor? Died.
Are you able to do a neighborhood? So a specific neighborhood for a Facebook ad, you can't. You can if you have them in your database, but if you don't have them in your database because it says there and you don't have the information, you can't do a neighborhood. You can do a city.
You can do within 20 miles is the smallest, right?
No, I think 15 is. Yeah, 15. So you can bring it down to 15 miles, and then you can target whatever city or whatever, the city that the neighborhood is in, and do like a 15-mile radius.
Is there a specific, I can understand hitting a neighborhood, but is there a specific reason it has to be a neighborhood out of curiosity, Brett?
No, it was just in the it was in the chat. Sorry, I was reading somebody else's question, and then my camera went haywire.
That's never happened before.
Never. I don't see it anymore. Oh, are you able to target a neighborhood if you do not have contact info? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody said I think it's 15 because of fair housing, and it's because of a lot of legal issues. That's why it's there. It's not because they don't want to, but there's a lot of privacy and legal issues involved with it. So 15 is what they've said. I honestly thought it was 20, but I'm glad to see it's 15. The smaller we can get, the better, because we do want to target somewhat, but you can't get down to the neighborhood level. I mean, I personally can understand why you would want to do a neighborhood. Maybe you're doing an open house, but at the same time, you want as many eyes on that as possible. So.
Well, and nextdoor.com is not linked through Facebook like it is in other aspects of our technology, right? I mean, we can't drill down to those nextdoor.com neighborhoods if that's kind of where the question's going with that.
Yeah.